Hello, my name is Ksenia. My full name means Hospitable Island. I make videos to inspire people to live their lives with more curiosity, connection, and creativity through books, art, and nature. Today, I will be talking to you about a book that I read last year, which really gave me an aha moment, a deep breakthrough moment when it comes to my creativity and living life as a creative individual. The book is This Once by Nick Bozanik. I got it at an estate sale on eBay. A poet was selling their library, and there was a bunch of books, signed books, from many different poets that I've never heard about, and I decided to just give it a try because I know that the chances of me coming across these books and reading them was very small if I didn't just give it a shot this once. So first I will read two poems, and then I will talk about the aha moments that I had. Of course, these two poems are not a very good indicator of the rest of the book because there's a lot of poems, and almost all of them were the kind of poems that made me want to pause and just really savor them. It was a stunning read. Anyways, let me start. The first poem is titled Returning to the Dead Stream. Starts with a quote by Ezra Pound. A second time, why, man of ill star, facing the sunless dead and this joyless region? Stars sketch their skeletal charts above the cedar swamp, a spectral geometry by which we steer through this seamless night. The rivers swirl over deep stones, over drowned trees, blending with the wind's music, lulling us as the soft earth pulls us down. Each step an effort, a gesture of will emptied and senseless, our hunger as pure as the heart's for its pulse. Where the waters and our wanderings cross, we wait, our bodies reflected dully in dark eddies, for the dead to shed their silence and their shapelessness, to rise, a choir of mists, of sirens singing, the history of our losses and of our lives to come, that we, whose blood runs blind, in the sunless tunnels beneath the skin, might learn not how this journey ends, but how on earth to begin again. Sorry if my pronunciation isn't always perfect. English is my second language, and I grew up mostly reading, so books don't teach you how to pronounce words. The second poem is The Sound of the Gate Closing Behind You. Your body is a tree, and still in the windless night, all around your head stars gather. It is as if you were a child once, and the summer storms of fireflies hovered before your eyes like nebulae. The grass beneath your feet then flowed, it seemed, like rivers, and the wind echoed angels. You recall those afternoons in June, when you passed like silence through shadows and through sunlight, and the green fields rose up like a sea of perfumes. As you took your leave of the garden, and the gate fell closed behind you. Oh, I thought that was so beautiful. So beautiful. And there's so many longer poems in here that I reread and reread and reread the same day, and I just couldn't get enough. Like, what a wordsmith, what a person who feels really, really deeply and observes every little detail of nature, of the gestures of their loved ones, of the passing of the seasons, of our psychology, how we're all connected, all living in this magnificent world. Just such a sensitivity. So when I was finished with this book, the aha moment that I had was that the purpose of a creative life, and all of us, I think, can live creative lives, is to really feel deeply, is to really look, is to really listen. And that's where the biggest rewards come as a creative. Yes, some of us hopefully will become well known. It will impact thousands and millions of people. Our work will flow into the world in many different forms, and everybody will know our name. That would be a great thing. But focusing on that is entirely irrelevant to our experience of living and the joy we feel through living a creative, fulfilled life. This person, Nick Bozanik, I know from his writing that he was so connected to the world. He was so connected to his work, to using words to articulate experience, ideas, and beauty. Like, he deeply impacted me. And he was actually, it's a very rare book. It was the least read book of my Goodreads books last year. I think like 60 something people in the whole world marked it as read last year. And that's very, very sad because this person is such a wordsmith and he deserves to be heard a lot more. But the fact that I reached his work and his work exists is just such a gift. And even if, and I was thinking as a creative, even if my work doesn't reach multitudes, doesn't reach thousands and millions of people, if I can really deeply touch another person through my creative work, that is a life well lived. That is a life lived with purpose and meaning. I will be rereading this book over and over again. It's on my shelf of to read till eternity, along with Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke and The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and a couple other books by Mary Oliver and some poets that I really love. But yeah, the point of these poems is secondary to how they're written. They're written with such deep feeling, such deep feeling. Art is about the journey. The more deeply you can learn to feel, the more your art will develop and really impact those it finds, even if it's not a huge number of people. That was my finishing thought. But now I actually wanted to share a lovely, lovely quote by Mary Oliver. It's from her book of essays called Upstream. It's a really beautiful book. I'll be reviewing it at some point later. The quote goes like this. It is 6 a.m. and I am working. I am absent-minded, reckless, heedless of social obligations, etc. It is as it must be. The tire goes flat, the tooth falls out, and there will be 100 meals without mustard. The poem gets written. I have wrestled with the angel and am stained with light, and I have no shame. Neither do I have guilt. My responsibility is not to the ordinary or the timely. It does not include mustard or teeth. It does not extend to the lost button or the beans in the pot. My loyalty is to the inner vision, whenever and however it may arrive. If I ever have a meeting with you at 3 o'clock, rejoice if I am late. Rejoice even more if I do not arrive at all. There is no other way work of artistic worth can be done. And the occasional success to the striver is worth everything. The most regretful people on earth are those who felt the call to creative work, who felt their own creative power restive and uprising, and gave to it neither power nor time. And gave to it neither power nor time. That is the regret we have to face if we're not going to follow our creativity, our curiosity, our feelings. We have all these societal obligations, but our creativity is the connective force between us and a full creative life, us and a full life, a full fulfilled life, and we must pursue it. And this book illustrates beautifully how a well-lived life bears fruit, bears beautiful fruit. Would recommend if you can find it. It's such a rare book. I hope this was inspiring to you, and you remember that we're here to be creative individuals, not to fulfill society's expectations, however hard it must be to exist in that world at times and be connected to our creativity at times. Till next time, bye.